They'll be calling you a radical. Smoky Mountain Rain keeps calling my name. This scientist is reporting, Savanah River, 30 billion. When it started out as 1.6. This is how fucking behind the curve. And he's got the balls, and he has the nerve to quote Megan Rice, the Plowshares Group, Greg and Michael. By the way, it's Megan Rice's birthday. It's coming up in just a few days. Let's talk about Savanah River. Oh, this was a good idea in 2000. Time to mothball. Too late. Hello. I reported over and over that Obama slipped it through. They got the funding. Patriot Act on Balco. No congressional oversight, no nothing, doesn't matter. They got carte blanche now. The Patriot Act. This is the greatest cash cow in human history. He writes in this report that this was put in to take all this waste from Russia and the United States. Gorbachev and Reagan signed that into law. Megan Rice goes to Y-12, Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Goes there. Protests. The most dangerous place on the face of the earth. By law, not only we illegally cannot be making any more nuclear bombs. By international law, we have to be, but that all went away. Mission accomplished. Cheney freaking proved that to us, and his attorney asked Scooter Libby. Asked Valerie Plame Wilson. International law means shit. Abu Ghraib, bloop, disappeared. It's funny how they play. So now I'm a scientist. This is out of hand. Went from 1.6 billion to 30 billion. By the way, it's 60 billion. This is the greatest cash cow. You as the taxpayer will pay. This thing, by the way, so much of your money goes to Japan. Not to, per se, the people of Japan, to TEPCO, to Toshiba. Westinghouse, Toshiba, the same company. Look it up. Hello, Toshiba bought Westinghouse. 3-year dog and pony show. So they're saying, okay, I reported when the tornado hit Paducah, Russian waste in there. Plutonium wars going on in the Ukraine. Putin versus Westinghouse. Hello. When are you people going to wake up and realize what a robbery and thievery this is? Their money for nothing and their chicks for free. And by the way, have you seen their chicks? Wow, not good. You know, what was Gandhi's famous set? One of them, you know, wealth without work. I mean, we've gone lock, stock, barrel into the military complex. This is a big deal, what's gone on. Now, Blue Castle, I was fighting Blue Castle from my room. Given 2 months to live, I was so close to death right there. Celeste says the best at the LDS bone marrow transplant. Says, Kevin, in those days, I was just expecting to be doing your paperwork on death. I prepared your paperwork when you went in. I've never seen what we rate a red 10. She's the one who does it. You're the only one I've ever seen walk out, ever. She says, I expect you to be dead that week, and you were making videos fighting Blue Castle while I expected you to die that week. And this is a person that was in the acute bone marrow transplant center at LDS for 26 years. That's what she says about me. But here in Utah, the media hates me. They won't even talk about me because they love people that are fighting cancer. They go, oh God, it's so nice as long as they're like this, and they don't fight back. They love those people. God forbid someone who really fights back and actually fights the people that cause the cancer and lives. Oh, they hate those people. They fear me. Really, truly fear me, the media in Salt Lake, in Utah. The whole complex. Because they know I'm on to them. Because I ate, slept, drank this my whole life. They're like, oh God, the rest of the activism world and so much of it. Of course, Helen's on to them. I'll be in New York City at her symposium. Somebody else wants to go along with one of you baby wolves, you know, we got 2 tickets, so let me know. But, you know, it's on the Upper East Side. We'll be on 103rd. Maybe we can walk over to the Metropolitan. By the way, great. By the way, I know the guy that runs the hot dog stand in front of the Metropolitan. Talk about a sweet gig. You know how much dough that guy makes a day? I mean, it's mind-boggling. You know, so Savanah River, Blue Castle in Utah, they tried to slide through. These licenses are worth $30 billion minimum. Our governor, Dirty Herbie, I'm the one that named him Dirty Herbie, by the way, and he tried to slide it through. Why? I'm fighting for my life when Fukushima's going on. They tried to slide the license through. Dirtier than dirty. Lead Dog Hedge Fund. I'm the one that exposed that in the Tribune. The Tribune did great work on this. I'll never forget it. My doctor walks in. He's anti-nuclear. He's the most famous oncologist probably in the world. For real, is my doctor. And, you know, he always says, we ain't losing you. Yeah, you're going to be a stat, but you're going to be one of the good stats. I'm the very first guy they know of in the entire world to have ML de novo, this type of disease, to willingly try to survive this without a bone marrow transplant. I had to make that decision in April of 26. Now, Brian Morris, I'm going to get an interview with him. You know, I've been saying that for a while, but right time, right place. He had the same thing a few years earlier and sent him home dying. He didn't die. So, you know, they're like, we're just watching you walk, you know, literally, setting the new playbook for a new treatment on this disease. I'm the first guy, for real. You know, this is the type of disease that no way I should have survived, and I have. And so, as we go along, I'm fighting Blue Castle, I'm fighting Savanah River. I know what Savanah River's up to, so this guy's got... Megan Rice is in prison in New York, and I've been scheduled to see her 3 different times. A lot of people have. She was scheduled to do interviews. I think she had an interview with the BBC the night before sentencing in, and it's USS Marshall steps in, and, you know, Lori can confirm this, at the USS Reagan trial. By the way, I'm it. I'm the only one there. The only media there in 2013. Libby's there and myself's there in 2014. That's it. You know, and why? Because the media is too far away. NBC's headquarters looks right down on it. The troops were sent into USS Reagan, human guinea pig, but Savanah River, this gig, the mock-seed fuel, now come on, to get rid of waste? Mock-seed fuel, which is in number 3 at Fukushima, Japan. Huh, what's it doing there? We know it's nothing but a secret weapon. 48 nuclear reactors in Japan offline for over 4 years. They said they make up 70% of the grid, not one rolling blackout. That's impossible. Because they're lying. San Onofre. That's impossible. I'm the only one who says we're going to hit the beach, we're going to hit beach on 2/12/13. I'm down there in critical condition. You know, doing interview after interview, getting kicked out before I even got a chance to speak, and everybody's like, you know, even Gene, all these hardcores are saying, you're crazy, Kevin. You know, Ace, all of them. I'm like, no, I can sense it. I can feel it. They'll never reopen because they're afraid of jail. Savanah River goes from 1.6 billion to 30 billion, which has really gone to 60 billion. 60 billion, when it's appropriate 1.6 billion. To take Russian and American waste and moxie it. For what? To build more bombs! So you think, oh, we're building bombs to fight Russia? Oh, no. We're building bombs to make companies like Lockheed Martin, Westinghouse, General Electric rich. All these freaking fearmonger, Operation Foxconn. Foxconn's their bitches. They just regurgitate the whole Republican Party and the Democratic Party. The lobbyists, that's all they're doing. They're extorting you. The fear complex. Pay the Dragon Slayer. That money was snuck through and appropriated. 60 billion. Amazing. Amazing. The nuclear cartel is extorting, so we got the meltdown possibly going in the Ukraine. Is it a plutonium war, the dynamic? Absolutely. I mean, this thing is so out of hand. And by the way, you see my video yesterday of the Eagles being gone. She says late migration. Oh, it's not late migration. It's January 15th. You know, she admitted, Kevin, you know 10 times more about this than I do. They're not late. There's no eagles here. There's no grapes here. That's a big deal. What killed them? Same thing that killed the starfish. Same kill that's killing the sea lions. The emperor has no clothes. Like, oh, the Pacific Ocean, you say it's dying. Of course it's dying. Everybody, you know, guys sitting in their basement regurgitate saying, you know, shit. How the fuck would they know? I've walked that entire beach up and down. You know, but I've been all over that beach. You know, my walk got delayed because I was a little bit sick. I'm getting better. I've already done the walk. Literally. I've walked from Old Town, past Diablo Canyon, all of it. Hundreds of videos. I've been down there so many times, that's what I do. I walk for tremendous lengths. I mean, 10, 15, 20 miles a day along that beach. I talk to the ocean is dying. So much of it's already dead. Is it going to kill it all the way? Hell no. You're no match for the Pacific Ocean. Human beings? Hell no. The Pacific genocide already happened. You know, all this, everybody's waiting for this stuff. Oh, the plume guy. The plume was here in a couple days. The plume hammered us here. Gave us so many of us leukemia. Fukushima has killed well over 1 million people already. What, because you just can't see it and drop dead? The oncology numbers are already coming out. They're there. Survival rate of cancer was like this until Fukushima. CMA in California themselves comes out in 2013. Says we need to hear data from the Fukushima. CMA made that statement. I reported it from the beach. Right there when I was at the USS Reagan, standing at Pacific Beach on the sand. Then they back off because they're just like everybody else. They think they're money. You know, here in Utah, California, the United States, everybody hates everything. They hate the birds. They hate the plants. They hate the trees. They hate other people. They hate kids. They hate their kids. Kids, the only thing they like is their fucking money. They worship it. I mean, this is biblical. Worshipful ties. And by the way, all you people that think you're going after me, you don't know these whole stories. And, you know, you don't. And if you did, you would be, wow. For I fear no evil. I fear no evil. I'm in the fight of my life. Literally. I'm in the fight for your life. I'm an artist. You know, I'm doing what I do. This genre, wow, how powerful. Can you imagine any of these quintessential artists who are fighting the machine and fighting the war complex and fighting the profiteers? Vincent, Pablo, you know, Jackson. Can you imagine them with a YouTube camera? By the way, Eric told me that when I stood there where John Lennon died, we did that interview with Dennis's son. He said, my dad had a camera, was experimenting with it, you know. And it's not the paint of the soup can, it's the idea to paint the soup can, but you have to paint the fucking soup can, and that's hard work. You know, I'm not behind a keyboard. I'm not there. I'm out all over. I mean, I think about these videos and the places I've been and the protests that I've done and the people that I've talked to. Places, Megan Rice trial. Wow. The most emotional potluck in human history. You know, I'm at it, you know, all over through Oak Ridge, Tennessee, at Y12, all over Y25, you know, at the USS Reagan hearing both times, in New York City at Hamilton's grave many times, sitting in the street with Tim DeChristopher at Flood Wall Street, in the street with John Anthony Fairhurst and Steve Grant and the Million Mastermind. That intense, the inauguration, that's me leading it. And last year, all over. I mean, in Eugene, Oregon, at Livermore on day 1000 by myself, protesting, me and Heather out there for 3 days. You know, in San Francisco on Pacific Beach, all over. At Diablo Canyon on Valentine's Day. You know, wow, what a journey it's been. The Savanah River is just a thumbprint. You're being extorted. We're going down the same road Russia went, all in military. Mayday, 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 every day now. They said, when's the United States going to start parading their military hardware? They already do. You've been to an air show lately? You know, this is all new. We're going down the fascism road. We're going down the same road. Either you work for the military-industrial complex or you don't have a job. They're small business, forget about them. You know, you're either a major corporation or you work for a major corporation, or you're some byproduct, freaking defense contractor, and you work for the military-industrialized complex. It's that simple. The construction industry fucking gutted. You know, the exploitation of illegal labor. You know, it's not the exploited, it's the exploiters. So here we go. Have you checked the debt lately? Have you looked at the fucking debt? We ain't going to have this conversation. Do you know how much of that debt goes to the nuclear complex? Santa, they've got it. Oh, we're testing plutonium at Livermore now. We're testing this. We're doing this. This has been going on for 6 years. They don't have it. They'll never have it. The only Santa, you know, that you still believe in Santa. The only Santa that's going to come is Santa Susanna, which happened. Steve Chinese Jobs. You know, and I want to say this. As far as a regurgitator, a screenshotter, a YouTube. Now, if you're disabled, that's one thing, you know, and you're older and whatever, you know, you're doing your piece. And the great keyboard activists that are out there, but, you know, these screenshotters regurgitate, babbling, freaking, you know, reading the National Enquirer online is all that is. I mean, nobody's listening to you. No one's paying any attention to you. They're clicking on, they're clicking right off. Check your retention level. You know, I would like to say thank you to Radchick, all the incredible work she did, especially on Jules Stan. That radio show probably saved millions of lives. People listen to them. A lot of people listen to them. You know, they took cover in the early days. Thank you to Jan, Miss Smokey the Clown. Thank you to Shane Russell up there, the great investigative journalist. Thank you to so many. There was so many in the early days. Yeah, and some of them have had to quit, you know, go away because this is tough, thankless work. This is a hard, hard gig. You know, so many great human rights. You know, I believe, personally, I believe that, you know, Radchick and Jan, you know, they live by each other. I both believe they deserve Nobel Prizes. And I'm not for real. You know, Helen was nominated for one, and I'll be seeing Helen. I'll talk to her when I'm there. And, you know, I am hopeful at this conference, a lot more hopeful at this conference, because it's not this year at the new skill. You know, it's in where it needs to be, and I think there's going to be a lot of oncologists. You know, I've been talking to my doctors about it. You know, when I show up in New York, by the way, a lot of really powerful oncologists come seek me out. And they ask me about my doctors, my group of doctors, because, you know, it's very cutting edge where I'm at. It's a very dangerous philosophy. I have hope. It's the #1, you know, leukemia unit in the world. You know, I landed there by default. I got lucky. But, you know, and they quiz me, Kevin, you know, and they want to know how I've done it. And I've told how I've done it on YouTube, you know. You've seen how I've done it on YouTube, because this is the art of survival now. This is the art of survival. You know, the poor sea lions, the poor starfish, you know, all the creatures dying on the Pacific Ocean, the eagles here, you know. We can go on and on and on and on and on. I mean, this is right in your face. This is reality. This is real. The genocide's not going to happen. It happened. You know, on the killing fields now. I mean, cancer epidemic, and, you know, Americans have not taken care of themselves. Look around at them, you know, and people don't understand that things will change. Oh, they're going to change when these baby boomers are all dead, and it's going to happen much quicker than you think. These things, as the Harvard professor finally come out, Harvard school, you know, they come out and says, oh, this is unsustainable, what's going on, this redistribution of wealth to the 1%, yet the average person doesn't even know what the tools are to stop this, enforce antitrust law that exist, you know, white-collar crimes that exist. Glass-Steagall, you know, tariffs, put them back. Put the tariffs back. We'll flip this country in, freaking make this country healthy like that. But the nuclear fallout that's already there, so many of you and so many of your offspring are going to die from Fukushima. And you won't even know that it killed you. And they're dying by the thousands a day right now in North America. By the thousands a day. We're starting to get the data out now. Fukushima is killing probably at least 1,000 a day, you know, globally. And people say, oh, I didn't kill anybody. It's killed over 8,000 of the workers. Think about just the fact that the mob's running the cleanup. Think about that fact. Think about the, you know, no-fly zone. Think about the cover-up. Think about the media blackout. You know, think about just all that alone is enough to have everybody up in arms, and they're not. You know, the exclusion zone, all of it. I mean, the mob are running with using homeless people, and they're dying. Wow. We don't use this nuclear shit. You know, it's just a giant cash cow. And this study that he's talking about proves that Megan Rice knows what I know. And she gets out in November. So, stay on this. Stay in this fight. You know, we can't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. You know, these videos are very important. We're recording history. You know, the documentation. And it's not about, you know, doesn't matter. This is about quality, not quantity. And I know for a fact, because when I travel and I show up, I see who shows up and talks to me. You know, 99% of them won't go on camera, and I don't blame them. But we have the right crowd. Boy, do we have the powerhouses that show up and talk to me. You know, we are going to change the world. Post-ignorance. Stay in tune.